When it comes to those folks who love multiple different gender identities, it can be hard to discern what exactly they're into. As a bisexual or a pansexual person, you often get mislabeled as either gay or straight, even in the everyday world by people who claim to know you. And we see the same happen to fictional characters in literature, especially in the realm of serial storytelling such as comics, where romantic relationships are kind of always shifting and in flux. Welcome back, Nerd Squad. Today we're going to help you find some of these bisexual characters for you to celebrate, who may have been hiding in plain sight even, as we count down the top 10 superheroes you didn't know were bisexual. Let's get counting. Number 10. Daken. Daken is one that I'm still sometimes surprised that I surprised people with this revelation. He oozes sexuality and he knows it. We've seen him have dalliances with female supermodels, flirt with just about any sexy person who comes his way, regardless of their gender, and even seen him plant a kiss on teammate Bullseye back when he was a member of Norman Osborn's Dark Avengers. Daken might be more of a villain most days, but I'd say he's currently on the path towards healing old wounds and becoming more of an anti-hero with each passing day on Krakoa, or possibly even in the future, just a full-on hero, which I am totally here for. I think Daken can be a bad boy and be a hero at the same time, personally. Number 9. Loki. While Loki may have just been confirmed as bisexual in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, fans of the character from the comics or Norse mythology might not be so surprised. Loki in the realm of the character overall is not just bisexual, but being a shapeshifter is also a gender-fluid, pansexual party of a god. Loki often identifies as male, but has also been female before, and even at one point turned into a horse to have a child with another horse that he could then give as a gift to his father Odin. Loki is very much a character who even transcends labels, not preferring to commit to any one gender in terms of romance, intimacy, or even within their own body, instead enjoying all of the options. And friends, before we move on to this next spot, if you are loving this list as much as I am loving sharing all these beautiful bi babies with ya, please be sure to let us know by giving this video a thumbs up. It really does help. I'm not just saying that, it's true. So thank you. Number 8. Constantine. So Constantine is another one that I personally feel like some of you may know, but for others not as familiar with the character, this may come as a surprise to you. Constantine is very much bisexual and can be seen almost throughout his entire history, flirting with all sorts of folks, and engaging in romantic and intimate relationships with them as well. He's more known for being the off-again, on-again paramour to Zatanna, but more recently in the animated universe it was also established that he and King Shark even had a thing. Their ship is referred to as Constant Shark and was celebrated by many fans of both characters and of the animated film it appeared in, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, which also, if you haven't seen Apocalypse War, you should check it out. It's pretty cool. Number 7. Catman. Catman started out initially back in the New Earth continuity as a man inspired by Catwoman and his panther that he owned to become a thief. During the Prime Earth continuity, he'd end up becoming an anti-hero and become known as a member of the Sinister Six. Wanting to put more space between him and Catwoman, he did his best to differentiate himself as much as he could. I mean, his name is still Catman, so it makes it a little challenging, truth be told. Catman had his character elevated and given depth when he was reimagined in New 52 on Gail Simone's Secret Six book. She was the one to establish Catman as a badass, bisexual anti-hero with a deeply troubled past, ultimately making him a more complex and interesting character. A far cry from his initial campy, few and far between early appearances. Not knocking camp though. I love some campiness, you know me. Number 6. Deadpool. Deadpool might not be a full-on hero all the time, but he definitely does his best to be heroic. I think he just doesn't always know how to do so cause, well, he's Deadpool. Still, even as an anti-hero, he's still a hero. Can't spell anti-hero without that key word after all. I think a lot of people forget that Deadpool kind of fits into the bisexual or the pansexual category, but he's definitely been seen flirting with both men and women in the comics. Although he strikes me as the kind that doesn't really subscribe to labels. I wonder how Deadpool would describe his sexuality actually if we asked him. Gary Dugan, one of the prominent and celebrated writers for Deadpool, confirmed on Twitter in 2013 that Deadpool was attracted to anything with a pulse. However, that tweet was actually later deleted. Gail Simone, who has also written Deadpool, also later offered that she always thought of Deadpool as pansexual. And Ryan Reynolds himself, who played the character on screen, has stated that he would love to see Deadpool's sexuality explored even more in film, and has reportedly even asked Kevin Feige about making the MCU version of the character openly bi, which I am here for. Number 5. Mercury. Mercury is Cecily Kincaid. She's a mutant hero who made her first appearance in the 2003 New Mutant series in issue number 2 and is often associated with the X-Men. Cecily is a confirmed bisexual character, with her both showing interest in fellow mutant Wither soon after she was first introduced, and then later seemingly dating another fellow mutant, Bling. At least that's what it looked like near the end of issue 87 of Generation X from 2017. I see that hand-holding going on there. Mercury's power is that she's, well, liquid mercury, so she can shapeshift and is extremely durable. Oh, and don't worry, she's not the toxic kind of Mercury, so yay. Number 4. Huntress. This one hasn't explicitly been confirmed, but Helena Wayne is one of those characters that has quite a few bi moments in the comics, if you will, and in a more compelling narrative, an alternate version of Helena from the Bat and Cat series was implied to be a lesbian. Although that kind of seems like a bit of an assumption in my mind, as Helena could actually date both men and women in this reality. I don't think we really know for sure. I don't think it was fully confirmed. What we do know is that she just happens to be with a female doctor, as her mother tells a very old friend in the first issue. And we also know that Helena Wayne of Earth 2 has also had some very flirty moments with Dick Grayson, as well as with her BFF Power Girl, Kara Zor-El, aka Karen Starr. Now, a lot of people also ship Helena and Karen. I'm not the only one. Of course, we could all be reading maybe too much into their closeness, which has only really ever been confirmed as platonic so far. But there's a lot of flirty moments in there, friends. There's a lot of things that I feel like you don't do with friends, that you do with romantic partners instead. But hey, maybe that's not a thing. Maybe people sometimes throw forks at people and have their towel removed after they came out of the shower, and that's a normal friend thing to do. Do you ever do that with your friends, Chris? Always. Just sometimes you gotta be like, get rid of that towel, girl. It's all fun. We're just friends. Number 3. Speed. Speed is currently with Prodigy, and both heroes are actually bi. While everyone focuses on Wiccan, the other reincarnated brother from the same mother, Speed often doesn't get a ton of moments to shine in the spotlight, so I feel like less people actually know what he's about, who he's into, or even what his preferences might be when it comes to finding love and romance. Prodigy and him both served on the Young Avengers together, and while Prodigy initially had a crush on Hulkling, Hulkling was with Wiccan. In the end though, Prodigy still found love with his partner and Wiccan's bro, Speed, which also means the two brothers can go on double dates together, and also all of the people on that double date can boast of Young Avengers membership. It's all pretty cute in my opinion, and pretty cool. And if you want to check out some cute double date moments, you can check out Lords of Empire Emperor Hulkling, which is pretty fun. There's some really good moments in Empire for these characters. Number 2. Catwoman. Although Catwoman exudes a sort of bisexual air, it was still kind of surprising when DC confirmed that she was in fact bisexual, by showing her kissing another woman. We'd also learned that Catwoman had romantic relationships with women besides, which, like I said, it does make a lot of sense considering how much Selina seems to enjoy flirting with both men and women. I guess this one is really just surprising to me because we barely get to explore Selina's sexuality outside of her relationship with Batman most days. While Selina has had other relationships throughout the years, Batman and Catwoman are so iconic together that it sometimes drowns out anything else that either has had going on, at least in my memory, because I just put them together so much in my mind. Obviously, I'm just a really hardcore Batman Catwoman like shipper, if you will. Number 1. Wonder Woman. Despite Wonder Woman being such an obvious bisexual character, I decided to rank her so high on this list because I thought, like me, you may have also forgotten this. Not every writer talks about or focuses on Wonder Woman's relationship before coming into man's world and leaving Themyscira, but one of her most important lovers in her history has got to be Cassia. Wonder Woman would later confess to Steve that saying goodbye to Cassia when she left Themyscira was one of the hardest things that she ever had to do. Ugh. I mean, it makes sense that Wonder Woman growing up on an island only with other women around could perhaps be somewhat gay, which is why I'm so happy we got Cassia and Wonder Woman's relationship and that it was established in the comics, or at least implied in the comics. It just, honestly, it makes a lot of sense to me. And now it's time for an honorable mention. I didn't get to mention her or her wife on our Mutants You Didn't Know Were Gay list, or on this list, as it's all about the heroes this time, but I just wanted to take a moment to shout out one of my favorite bisexual characters in comics of all time, Mystique. What draws me to her is her determination to get what she wants at any cost. Mystique is all about doing things her own way, which often puts her on the bad side of the alignment spectrum. But at the end of the day, she does have people that she loves and her own set of morals that she'd pretty much do anything for. And in her own way, she's quite passionate about fighting for mutant kind and mutant rights. But it's often her way or the highway. Or rather, it's her way or she's gonna sneak around you, disguise herself, and then still do it her own way, without your assistance or your permission. She don't need that. Mystique has been pining to get back her wife, Destiny, also a mutant and a villain, and I'm really excited to see what will happen next in that storyline and just what will happen to Krakoa when Destiny does inevitably return. Who are some of your favorite bisexual characters? What characters do you most identify with or connect with in the comics, and what draws you to them? How are you celebrating Pride this month during these still kind of lockdown and weird times? Let us know in the comments below. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you as always to stay nerdy, YouTube.